And we're live.
Yeah,
what are you drinking, Tucker?
Apple juice.
I really thought it was apple juice. I'm being gullible, though, right? Then what are you actually
Yeah, it's
drinking?
beer.
What is it in particular?
La Fin du Monde. It's a Quebecois beer, which is really good. But
is that one of those that like comes in a wine bottle looking thing? It's got a cork in it.
Yep.
Pinky's up. That's high class.
Oh, pinky's up, you know. Yeah, but no, it was. I walked past it and I was like, "The end of the world, sign me up. Let's put that in a cup and drink it." So,
is it any good?
No, it's really good. I like it. I've had it a couple times before, but
nice.
Woody, what are you drinking?
I have coffee, and I was just thinking this in my head. Right, I consider coffee a performance-enhancing drug at the start of a podcast. Right, a little more high energy, low cookie.
Sure, yeah.
That's how I see alcohol.
Well, I was about to go there. But what is a better performance-enhancing drug? Like, which one is testosterone? Which one's EPO? Which one is some like SARMs that are only half a steroid?
Well, you're thinking, right? Like, okay, if you drink coffee, you're gonna be more energetic. You know, you're gonna be on the jokes and whatnot. But which will initially it'll improve the quality of the podcast. However, if you drink alcohol, you might slip up a bit more, get a few more laughs in there, but you are a little bit more sloppy. Now, let's take an alternative, which in some states is legal. Let's say,
Four Loko.
You know, you get some weed involved.
Okay.
You know, now it's like, okay, the pace of the podcast will go down, but the quality might get really high. I'm just saying, performance-enhancing drugs for podcasts.
See, I'm not.
When it's legalized around the country, we'll do a smoking episode.
It is, yeah. I mean, I think it depends on the person, right? So like, it's legal here. I could go smoke and then come back, but I'd probably get tired halfway through. And if I drank coffee, like that's fine too. But like drinking alcohol, you're a little looser, a little more social.
Isn't there like the sativa and Invicta or whatever the fuck the other one?
Yes,
it's the win. It's sativa and the female UFC. That's what Invicta is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like wine almost. I'd say like white and red wine. Yeah, they're different, and yeah, they can like you're gonna notice the difference, but it's not like one is like the limitless pill and the other one you're asleep in 10 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah, I've always suspected that was the truth. The people who say they take which one's the upper one?
Sativa. No, it definitely there's a noticeable difference between the two. But it is not like it's not like so crazy that if you have one or the other, you're like, I can never smoke this again. Like I can only smoke sativa. It is a different feeling.
When I was in Colorado, like 5 months ago or whatever, I got like a gummy or a chocolate or something that was sativa, and then another one that was indica. And I remember like sitting at the condo or whatever cabin like that night before we were going to go skiing the next day, being like, oh, tonight I'm gonna try sativa because that's gonna make me feel whatever it's supposed to feel, like weird and little amped up. And I ate it, and I was just like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, I was just like, I just feel tired and high. And then the next day I tried the indica and I felt exactly the same. So maybe I don't have the palate.
Edibles are different too.
Well, you also have the THC and the CBD like oil, right? And where if you just take the THC oil, you're gonna be high. But if you take the CBD oil, which I have, by the way, be happy to take some. It does absolutely nothing.
Does fuck all. I don't know why I have it.
You won't.
Someone gave me CBD oil. Yeah,
you won't notice. You won't notice at all that I took it, or if I didn't take it. It's just like they say, if you take it in high amounts, it can help with like pain and recovery.
I was gonna say, what about like muscle soreness and such? Like people seem
so. If you take high amounts of it, now don't quote me on the numbers, but just a good amount, it can help with recovery or epilepsy, I believe, or some other stuff. Yeah,
I have a friend who gives CBD oil to his very old dog, and they said that it. Oh, this is widely known. It was new to me. Like they said, it was like the magic pill. That's exactly what the dog needed.
Yeah. You know who did a video on this was Drifter. He gives his dog CBD treats. Obviously, since I live in LA, like the joke here is everything is CBD infused. Like we have CBD water. There's CBD.
Does it taste bad?
No, it tastes like water. Like it literally, it doesn't have any taste. Is
there CBD in it?
It doesn't do shit for me, but a lot of people are like, it's relaxing. It helps them relax. It helps them like it's not like a noticeable thing, but you just become.
You
calmer.
can also get coffee and then with a few drips of CBD in it. So I'll just I was at a coffee shop just where you get coffee, not the Dutch coffee shop in LA, and you just get a coffee and then it's like plus CBD, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
But don't you like my understanding is you have to be taking CBD for like 2 or 3 weeks every day until it builds up in your system enough, and then you start getting anti-inflammatories.
I just know that you need to take high amounts for it to really have an impact on you. But some people, they'll take like 3-4 drops or like a little bit of oil. It relaxes you a little bit. Maybe if you feel stressed, it's an alternative.
The dog only got 1 or 2
whatever
drops.
Exercise,
but it was little.
Well,
it was like a pug.
Also, the size, like 1 or 2 drops, but
That's
like
true.
you can't.
It was like
there's nothing you can. There's nothing
20-pound
bad
dog.
that can happen from it, right? Like I could go drink all of the CBD oil I have. I assume there's nothing bad that could. It would just.
Oh, it
like,
gives you the shits.
I have to believe
I
that
think-
enough oil is a laxative.
you'll just fall asleep, right? I assume if you take it too much, you're just knocked
Right.
out.
Do people still drug tests for jobs? Like, is that a thing?
At least here in it is still, you still get drug tested for marijuana, which is weird that I'm saying this because as if I've applied to a job anytime soon, but a friend of mine got drug tested. However, for the state law, I believe, is that you can't use that as the only disqualifying factor for denying somebody employment. However, like that, but like they could just be like, your resume wasn't up to date. But you're not going to have people be like, you failed the drug test, you're fired because of this, right? It's not like a line in the sand that nobody can cross, but you don't hear about it as much.
That's it. Yeah, I've only taken a drug test once, and it was like decades ago. But it was the last step in the whole thing. Like I was hired, and it was just the final hurdle to not be on drugs. I was nervous
did you guys
too.
See, did you see the Netflix documentary on testing like athletes?
Oh,
no, the Russian one.
What's it called?
The bird that flew too close, the guy that flew too close to
Icarus?
the sun. Icarus?
Yeah, the Russian documentary, yeah.
Really, really, really good. That's like intense. And it pretty much summed up Russia. No joke. Russia was caught just falsifying all these guys, like their drug test for the Olympics. Everybody was on stuff, right? Everybody was on drugs. And then this guy, during the documentary, he comes out and he goes into hiding and he works together with the FBI. Really, really good documentary.
I wonder, is everyone... So in swimming right now, there's this Chinese dude. He got busted for like massive amounts of steroids, and he just won his event. And he won, and he was rude to the second place guy. I think he was British. And all the other swimmers were like giving him the cold shoulder, like he's currently being like, what do they call it? Contesting, his drug results. Yeah. So he's just like in this leeway period where he's not banned yet, and he won his event. But I'm looking at these swimmers, and I'm like, aren't they all on steroids? Or
that's what they say.
This was the World Championships,
Yeah. I think it's like the whole idea of everybody's juicing, but it's just who's juicing, like who's the cutting edge guy that's always doing the next best thing. Like there's only so much you can go and block and check for, right?
The rest of us are all limited by microdosing, so we pass these tests. That guy was jacked, so he's the cheater. We're just all following the same rules.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, but is it? I'm trying to think of like a way that it kind of reminds me of like Adderall in schools, right? Like, is it a performance enhancer? Even if you, let's be real, everybody gets prescribed Adderall, even if you don't really need it. Like, I never took it during school, but Lord knows, like the first time that I took it, I was like, holy shit! You mean to tell me like people were doing this every day and like you get everything done? So it's like not bad.
And my iTunes playlist is reorganized.
It's like a limitless pill, but it stunts your growth.
And then people become addicted to it, or but like it's kind of like in small doses, it's I guess it's accepted by the community. I'm just going on my, like, I don't know if anybody's juicing or whatever. I'm just guessing that they are.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know swimmers did that.
Like, I mean,
I think it's like athlete. Any athlete. Like, I'm not saying like
He's just like a
everybody is doing
yoked
it.
jockey out there.
But there are a lot of people who do it.
He started
who don't
taking
get
Adderall
caught.
at 7 so he wouldn't grow.
Oh my God, you're right. He's like 4 foot nothing.
Fucking yoke.
Like Lance Armstrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Uniball man.
He won the Tour de France. I don't know how many times.
5 maybe?
And then
7, I
like, and
think.
Is it
I
7?
think it was 7 too. And then he got caught. But he's been tested many times, and apparently he did it for like the majority of them.
And didn't he say that everyone's juice? Like, I'm pretty sure it was him that was
Yeah.
like, well, everybody's doing the drugs, so like I just got caught. That sucks, but like here we are.
Yeah.
Same with like
Yeah.
the Barry Bonds stuff.
Jones had a teammate who didn't juice as much as him, and he looked. I said Jones, I meant Armstrong, and he talked to the guy's wife. He's like, your husband doesn't take enough steroids. He's not showing the kind of commitment that I am. And I was like, huh, all right. That's one line. The only time I
look at it,
I don't know how to view this steroids. Like in swimming, you could be like, well, you know, if you just let the athletes juice, then is there any harm done? Or maybe if you want to be a world-class swimmer, you just have to agree to like be a sexy 20-year-old and dead at 50.
Isn't it
You
like
know?
a access to the drugs? I mean, you know, how is somebody who's lower income or somebody who's like maybe not in a cutting edge country, how are they supposed to compete with Russia or the US?
Like juice
Well, that's
up.
that's
their fucking problem.
But that's in a steroids are illegal world, right? If steroids get legal, are they that expensive? Can't you buy them like on Mexico pharmacies and stuff?
I mean, HGH, sure. Like, I'm sure you can get stuff, but not like the good shit. I think we legalize steroids, but we split it up. We have the roided competition and the natties, right? And we just have these freaks and just people who are getting tested every day of their lives.
If that's your argument, then
Yeah.
then you should also take into like account what about like shoes, like the bikes, the whatever, the outfits.
Oh, you're talking about the cost.
diet.
Bikes is a thing.
The
Swimsuits is a
training
thing.
regimen. Yeah.
Like I don't know when it was, 8 or 12 years ago. The Americans had like secret swimsuits that they didn't let the rest of the world have. Like Speedo developed them just for the Americans.
Shark skin one.
Yeah, and they're
So
like,
gay.
dude, the swimsuits are so long. They're like tank tops and long pants, and they're smoother than human skin, and they're just breaking records everywhere. Meanwhile, like South Africa's in like regular banana holsters.
And it's like,
It's just
if
like,
you
this
shave your
sucks.
chest hair. if you
Why
shave
do the
your chest
Americans
hair,
get to have their special suits?
And everybody's looking
Mine
at
is made
my
of a
dick.
repurposed Goodyear tire.
And they can
It's
see
like
I'm circumcised.
save half a second if you're if you're circumcised.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
That's,
hey, listen,
right,
hey,
you know?
wait, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, that's a really funny bit idea. It's like swimmers from other countries going to get circumcised. Just like go a little fast.
Listen, you'll drop 0.2 seconds, cut off. If you cut your dick off, we can even give you a full second off. And the guy's like, I don't know, man.
Dude, a
Well, I
second.
really do want to be good at swimming.
Oh.
Actually, no, it'd be reverse, wouldn't it? Because
What?
if you're uncircumcised, the head of your dick is out and it's causing drag on
No,
your dick ridge.
No, it's just having
If
a
you're
dick in
circumcised,
general.
it's streamlined down into the anteater.
Your dick
Just
is
cut
not
it.
freeform. You're
Oh.
swimming with stuff.
Guys, what
Well,
if
Taylor's
you
competing in the Nude Olympics.
I have a solution here, guys. What if you jump into a really cold bath beforehand? It shrinks. So instead of it being this, for me at least, it goes all the way down to here, and then you go. You know what I
You're so
mean?
That's a
smart.
high
I
IQ
can't
maneuver.
believe I never thought of that. That sounds like a brilliant idea. You don't really
Right?
look good on the starting block, but just ice that puppy down a little bit.
Yeah, but then by the time you're on the block on the metal pedestal, you can let that thing warm up. You're just back there with a fan,
Dude,
like
Conor McGregor is my favorite.
Give
We
it a
talked
few
about the
slaps,
show a couple.
warm it up.
Conor McGregor legit works up a little stiffy before the weigh-in, like when he they weigh in. It's like a ceremonial weigh-in, and then
He
they
has a
go eye to
full-on
eye
erection.
and then look at each
Oh,
other real
no.
mean. And Conor always comes out with a hard on, and I
that's an alpha move. He's just like, this. If my dick's hard, maybe he's off his game. Who
I
knows?
must have
he
been
just
beta and
really
fucking-
likes fighting.
in
He
high
just
school,
really
if I had a
likes it.
hard on, I'd do everything I could to hide that. Untuck
You
shirt,
know the
under the
trick?
belt.
No, you know the
Mhm.
trick? Flex your calves and your quad. So
Yeah.
just sit there
Drain blood
flex
from your
it,
dick.
Yeah, and then it'll go
Does that
away.
work?
Yes. Go walk on your
100%.
heels. Walk on your heels for like 30 seconds.
Oh, that one.
It's
They're like, that
All right,
Taylor
so when you
never
get
has a
public
hard on,
erection,
but he's autistic.
What you want to
No,
do
no,
is
If
walk
it-
around like an
no, no, no,
autistic
no.
person with balls to your feet in public.
But at least your dick won't be hard.
This
Listen,
sounds more
if
like a
you're- if you're
gullibility
standing
test than a
there,
hard on fix.
You got if you don't have your jeans on, maybe you got shorts on or,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
whatever, and you're like, oh no, you just you think of that high school teacher or whatever, and pops on. Just start flexing your legs, and then just hold it for a few seconds. It'll go away. Like
Yeah,
a
but
charm.
that's true. It drains because then you're engaging your big ass
Yeah.
muscles and it drains the blood.
I'm gonna Google
Yeah,
this.
or you
All right,
start
let's, there's no
Why
reason
don't
to
you just
Google
try it
Woody.
out, Woody? Look at
Let's
me get
all
hard
get
and then do-
erections.
just start sprinting.
I'm way
start
ahead of you,
sprinting.
Tucker.
I've been hard this whole time. Let me test this out.
I wonder if there's a sport out there, a position in a sport that could be helped by playing erect. What?
Ooh.
I don't know. Baseball.
Base? Well, that
You
would be
don't-
distracting.
You don't need the thing anymore.
The thing, the bat.
You're the bat. That's it. Yeah.
I can't think off the top of my head of anything that I would want to be erect for in a sporting event
I mean,
because
you could,
then you're
scare
just
people
swinging it
away.
back like in a full sprint.
What
Like
if I'm
wrestling?
playing? What
No,
if
no,
I'm
no, no.
playing billiards and I forgot my stick?
I'm ready.
Like,
Here's
no,
a
no,
guy
guys.
who's it's
What
Like,
if I'm playing
6
ping
feet
pong and I
long
have no
it's
paddle?
This big around.
Guys,
Gets
think
sharper
of
at the end.
wrestling. Think of wrestling, but now your enemy has a massive boner. You're gonna be off guard.
And
You're
then he
gonna be
checks
like,
your
"Oh,
oil.
shit. Oh.
That's probably the
Now
best
we both
answer
have
for us.
boners. Well done.
Oh
T-
God,
Queb.
That's a funny like wrestling thing. It's like, Tony, be careful about this guy. We call him Stevie the Erection Johnson for a reason. It's like,
that's a
when you
terrible
get in there,
nickname.
his dick kid, it's not a good nickname. He came up with it, not the brightest guy. All the blood's somewhere else. Like, when he gets in there with you, he's gonna get hot. And don't you let that intimidate you. You get just as hot, even hotter than he is. You show him that you're
You're the
Tony
hardest out here.
Filiadici isn't afraid of a hard dick in the ring, and he's like, do it.
Do you ever think that like when The Rock was a wrestler, they called him Dwayne the Rock Hard Johnson?
Oh, I would have.
I-
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
a
thinking
risky
about
move.
it now.
I can't believe I've never heard that before. That's good. The Rock Hard Johnson.
Ah.